Mado, Nico. Good evening. I just went on a run, my bad. Sorry for the slight delay. But I also finished work a little bit late. So it was one of those things. Did I do 10k? No, I don't have time to do 10k during the week. I restricted to 5. I am seated for the spoiling session. Much love, Jacob. Obviously.
Love from West Virginia.
Much love, sir. Much love. Thank you, kind sir. Love your dedication to the beautiful sport. Much love. Good evening, Lucas. How's it going, sir? Yeah, so funny, bro. Austin, good evening, sir. Someone predict your excuses already. Yeah, so funny. Have you ever considered running a marathon, sir? I've considered it. It's just, I'll be honest with you. It's just, I haven't got the time. It's not fulfilling enough. Like, I know I can do it, so what's the point? I'm just wasting my time, right? That's basically how I look at it. I wouldn't really get that sense of accomplishment in any way. But obviously that's just me, and I'm not hating on anybody that will do it. Oh my days, Nico Williams almost scored from a free kick that was 70 yards away. Mado. Good evening, Amori. How's it going, sir? What is happening with Dybala? I don't know. From what I have been told, the club are willing to let him go. Roma, for them, he is considered sellable. The problem is Dybala himself is having second doubts about joining Saudi. So that's what's holding it a little bit back. Gvardiol and Porro or Trent and a 4.5. That's a tough one, Amori. I see the dilemma you're in. I think Trent is a necessity, though. I would probably go with the letters here. Fofana Bomba, so there we land. Yeah, this one concerns me heavily. I've watched him. This one concerns me because I think he's a top player, and for the price they got him, I think it's a really good deal. I'm very disappointed that, to be fair, Premier League clubs tried to hijack the deal, but Fofana gave his word to them, which is, I guess, fair enough. It is what it is, but it's a bit problematic because it's a player that they were lacking. You know, Benacer has not been the same since his injury, and they haven't really been able. They were not able to replace Tonali yet, and they pretty much do with Fofana. Good evening. Turns like a truck.
Top 5 Endrick lies of all time. Now, this guy might be a pathological liar, so today I thought we'd investigate.
What's this? I'm over.
Top 5. So, number 5, we've this quote where he said, "I became a Real Madrid fan since I saw Cristiano Ronaldo," even though there's pictures of him sitting in front of pictures of Barcelona players and holding up pictures of Barca players as well. I'm going to let this one slide. I don't think that one's actually too bad. Number 4 is where this starts to get a little bit questionable, right? He was asked in an interview what's one player from the past he'd like to play with, and this is an actual quote from him. "A player from the past I would like to have played with, Hullet. He was complete." Endrick was born 8 years after Hullet retired.
100%. That's from FIFA. 100%. No doubt about it.
I don't mind letting that one slide a little bit because he could have watched some clips of him or whatever. It gets worse as we move on to number 3. He said, "My story with Real Madrid started before I was born. My dad wanted to name me Di Stefano, but my mother refused." Like, let's just be honest. Your father wasn't going to name you Di Stefano. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you're just lying to lie now. Like. Now, number 2 is, it should be criminal, to be honest with you, these takes. Yeah, just watch this.
Neymar or Jude Bellingham?
I've seen this. We've seen this one.
No way any football fan who has eyes would ever say that Jude Bellingham is a better footballer than Neymar Jr. What level of crack is this fella smoking? That's crazy for anybody to say, let alone a Brazilian. Like, do you know what I mean? Surely, right? If you're a Brazilian and watching it,
What's number one? What's worse than this?
Outrageous thing ever. So at number one, we have another clip from this interview where he was asked who are his top 5 players of all time, and you're not going to believe who he says. Bobby fucking Charlton.
What? You're lying. Why have I never heard this one?
Like, that is insane. That Bobby
Maybe he
Charlton
meant
is
someone else. Bobby someone
insane.
else.
Like, so we go from Bobby Charlton to fucking What are you on about? Like, is there even footage of Bobby Charlton and Puskas?
I didn't hear about it.
Videos of
No.
him playing football. I don't think you can.
Bobby.
Puskas retired in 1966. 1966. Like 40
Oh, he
years
said Charlton.
before you were born. You man. Like, but that's not where this Bobby Charlton thing stops. He doubles down. He was asked who his footballing idols were. He said,
Y los ídolos de tu infancia.
Cristiano, Bobby Charlton.
how is Bobby Charlton an icon when you were a child? How
No.
did he even find out who Bobby Charlton was? That's like me
He's just got an
saying
icon
Bailey
card though,
was
hasn't
my
he? No,
icon.
or was it
I
the,
know
or
fucking
was he not
Bailey is
given one? I swear,
football.
I seen his FIFA card somewhere. That's surely why he named him, nah? It's gotta be. Listen, the Hullet one, the Bobby Charlton one, it's 100%. He has got one, right? That's 100%. He just got
Top
it from
5,
there, man.
Hendrik
But I tell you what, man. I tell you what. What if he is a historian, chat? You know? What if he's like one of us? He was asked to name his FIFA team.
Kind sir. Hope you're well. Looking forward to your analysis for this season.
Too kind, Clint. Too kind, sir. Too kind. Oh yeah, Brighton are cooking, chat. I'll be honest with you, it's a double signing, which I like. There we land. I love that they're mocking the Teppen as well. They've always had beef with the Teppen. For that, they've earned my respect. Wait, this one? It's not even him. This one was yesterday. I don't know anything about this guy. Gruda. Then today, they've announced... And this is going to be a problem for FPL, by the way, I'm worried, because we have Barco in there. They've announced Kadioglu and Rutter. Now, they still have Barco in this lineup, but Kadioglu, we've seen him in the Euros. I'll be honest with you. Like, I think he's better than Barco right now. Rutter's a lot of money on him, innit? They popped his clause, but they needed a number 9. Low key, you never know. He failed in the Premier League last time, but maybe that's because it was Leeds. I don't know. Also, I don't know if there's anybody that knows. Will this affect Joao Pedro's minutes? Rutter isn't a number 9. Well, that's where he's going to be playing, because Pedro is better than Rutter, that's for sure.
Milan looked good, no? Are you worried?
I'm a little bit concerned. Pedro's not going to play number 9, I promise you. Pedro will play him behind.
Sir started off the leaderboard on a good foot, love you.
I mean, Pedro's the better player in it, so I'm hoping his minutes won't be affected. And plus, he's on pens. Nah, he'll play. I promise you they'll play him 9, chat. There's no way they'll play him. There's no way Pedro's getting benched, no chance.
Atmosphere from the Madrid fans
Rutter will go 9, Pedro will play behind.
was embarrassing. However, as a Barca fan, I'm not looking forward to the next season.
Really? You know what? I was hearing that the Atalanta fans were louder than the Real Madrid fans yesterday, from what I could tell. Also, how was the city? I heard Warsaw is a beautiful city, and the people that went there yesterday, they had nothing but good things to say about it. Nico Williams is cooking, by the way. Oh my days, man. Oh my days. Barca fans cry. Barca fans, holy shit, man. I'll be concerned as well.
Good evening, Keondist of Sirs, looking fresh. As always, I hope there was great development at work. Remember, nobody cares about City though, lol.
Who's that kind, sir? Us against them mentality. Manchester City's rivals are hoping for a dip in form this season. Which Premier League team do you hope underperforms the most? Arsenal fans said City. Chelsea fans said City. Liverpool fans said City. City fans said Manchester United. United fans said City. Spurs fans said Arsenal. Interesting. Fascinating. How is this crying about Nico? Muha, thank you for the prime as well. Much appreciated, bossman. I'm a little bit, but no. We'll go through. We'll go through. Listen. Mado. Heck, thank you for the prime. There's a lot to go through today, chat. A lot to go through. It is for those who are tuning into one of these. Nobody has your opinion.
Looking forward to this new season, and I'm expecting loads of spoilers from you.
Nobody has your opinion. Goggle sits there and pretends like, by the way, the clip that they sent me about you claiming like your best achievement is you winning only up with me or chain together with me. Like, I literally made less mistakes than you did. You were the one that held us back more than I did. Plus, you never completed only up, so I doubt you would have completed it solo. So, the continuous disrespect is hilarious. Anyways, let's not waste too much time. For those who are tuning in to one of these for the first time, obviously you guys probably know by now I've gone 2 out of 2 already to start the season. It goes without saying, please, there is a warning. I am obliged to say this, otherwise, if I don't say this, Twitch can ban my account. Spoilers will be given in the stream today. Please look away if you don't want anything spoiled for the upcoming season. If you want to watch in peace and not in anticipation of what's about to happen, then please look away. I haven't yet. Thank you, sir. Thank you, JLo. I'm 242 correct. Remember that. So the questions on the leaderboard have already closed for La Liga. La Liga, as we see on our second screen, has already started.
So goggles from the GTA races?
Wait, so I did first. This was this guy. Anyway,
This guy just sweats this game, by the way, 24/7, and then pretends like he's good when he comes in my lobby.
Prison, yeah, it takes the absolute piss. Anyway, coming up to the last checkpoint, and this happens.
I was really looking forward to the new season, but now you will
Deadest fucking track I've ever seen.
You know when you get
Two
those like
kinds,
voices
yeah.
in your head, just do it.
Two kinds, yeah.
And he spawned.
And then he has the
spawned back on
audacity
the
to come and cry in my
I was
thing.
so proud of myself. So proud of myself.
As he sits there 20 seconds.
So
I've never seen someone
yeah.
sweat the game as much as he does, and yet he still finishes like so far behind everybody else. Snow, thank you for the 19. Appreciate it, bossman. Oh, you recorded a clip for us. Oh my days, you recorded a clip for us. Yeah, Atalanta fans were incredible, weren't they? Look at the Real Madrid fans, and they won as well. It's tough to tell which team won just by watching this. You think it's the opposite. It's crazy, but that's the thing, innit? That's the thing. Nothing but respect. What's up, fine?
Charlie, I like this.
Mado.
I'll swing my arm in a figure of 8. Oh, I won't leave to the whole clip empty. Them boy ain't none but pagans. I can see why them boy love envy.
Amori, what's his price FPN? Bro, look at him, man. That's a man that is ready. That is a man that is ready to take on the upcoming season, man. Look at him. Alpha male right there. Madre mia. Anyways. Like I said, we will start with La Liga. Oh my days. Bilbao just missed an open goal. 3 minutes of added time left. They can't find a way through. Oh, yeah, sorry. I forgot to check that one as well. Bombasso from MC.
Manchester City have insisted throughout that they are innocent.
I've never heard Ornstein
that
speak.
They have irrefutable evidence to prove that innocence.
This is on TalkSport.
They are convinced that they will come out on top in this, and so their supporters. We didn't say who this would also be good for. Manchester City and their supporters will feel this is an opportunity finally to be vindicated and to have this stigma lifted from above their heads. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out. But the size and the scale and the magnitude that Matt talks about there, a couple of things I wanted to add. A lot of the offences alleged offences, are repeat. So that's helped inflate the number.
MC.
Many people say, wow, 115 separate charges. That's not the case because of the time span. It's often in many of those that Matt lays out year after year of the same thing, including non-compliance and alleged inflation.
So Manchester City should sue the Premier League, no? Based on this. For damage done to their reputation and name.
And so on. There's another thing in this that the charges that have been faced by Everton, Nottingham Forest are described informally as like simple PSR cases, whereas Manchester City is defined as being more complex, as Matt explains. So when people are getting understandably frustrated and concerned and angry about the delays here and suggesting there is an agenda against their clubs and in favour of Manchester
obviously,
City,
but that was always
go. They're not.
Of course, I mean, of course. But that's obvious to anybody with a brain, David. The problem is most don't have one.
There will be an unbelievably vigorous defence from Manchester City.
But it's interesting, MC, because it is damage done to your name if you do come out innocent. Yeah, and then the big one is Bournemouth have replaced Solanke with Evanilson. They have dramatically overpaid. I mean, 47 million is crazy, but then again, Solanke, they got a lot more than what he actually would have been worth. In terms of quality between Solanke and Evanilson, I think Evanilson is the better footballer, to be honest with you. So in a way, I think Bournemouth have won this one, and I am really looking forward to what they're going to cook this season. It's over in Bilbao. The first game in a top 5 league has finished for the season. Bilbao won, Getafe won. Nico Williams came on, and my oh my, he looked electric. He continued where he left off in the Euros, basically. Anyways, I've already answered the questions. Naturally, we'll start with La Liga. Wow, our fucking badges. Nah, this looks ugly, bro. That's a little bit more clean. Descenso, Amori, can you translate for them? Descenso means relegated. Media tabla in Baya means lower half of the table. Media tabla means mid-table. And obviously that you guys can understand. And campeón means champions. We have to translate for them, but I like it in Spanish. Let's leave it like that. Nada. Gracias mucho. Now, the teams that will be relegated from the La Liga 24-25. Leganés will finish at the bottom. They're coming back up. They were the team that won the Segunda División. I believe they're going to be the worst. There's something that tends to happen in La Liga especially, and to some degree in the Serie A as well. The size of your club matters. The aura and the reputation matters. When you go up to the big league, there's certain clubs that basically go straight back down. They're going to be one of them. I have them 20th. And to join them as well going back down is a team that's just gone back up, which is Valladolid. Basically just came back up with Leganés. Both teams will be going down. Valladolid and Leganés. to join them to make up the trio of teams going down will be Rayo Vallecano, who will finish 18th. They narrowly avoided escape last season. Falcao is gone now. He's retired. Not that he was a key player by any means last year, but I still felt like, you know, he provided them with the experience, if nothing else, in the dressing room. So those are the 3 teams I have going down. Now, the ones that will narrowly avoid the drop will be a team that's also come back up. Espanyol, big club. And this is what I was saying when I say reputation. Reputation matters. Espanyol have the aura in Spain. That will be enough to keep them alive just in the first season back up. We have to put it very clear. Most teams in La Liga, they've barely spent any money this year. It's incredible. Like the league, that's where you have to give credit to Spain's academies, because the level of football in Spain maintains a very high level despite most of the teams barely spending any money. So Espanyol will barely survive. The team I have finishing 16th is Mallorca. I think Mallorca losing their goalkeeper is going to be a big loss for them. Big loss. I think, and I could be wrong in this, but the right back is also rumored to be leaving as well. So those are players that they will struggle to be able to replace. I think they're going to survive, but they're not going to do well. They're not going to do well. Then I'm going to put in 15th place. I'm going to put Celta Vigo. How much more can they keep relying on Iago Aspas? Me personally, I don't see it. Losing Strand Larsen as well, I think it will be a big loss for them. I think last season they rode their luck a lot of times. I think this season they're going to struggle. Celta Vigo, compared to what they've done before, Celta Vigo will finish 15th. In 14th place will be Las Palmas. Many people will have them going down. I don't think so. I think they have a fantastic manager. I enjoyed watching them play last season. I think they'll have enough to stay up, and more than that, finish higher than people think. Las Palmas in 14th place. Now, this is obviously where it becomes getting interesting, because this is where we enter this territory now. Just to complete the media tabla Baia will be a team who performed exceptionally well last year. However, this year, I don't think they'll perform as well. Namely, Rossified's team. This was a team Rossified was watching quite a lot last season. Mason Green was loss. We have to acknowledge is a big loss for Getafe. So I don't think they'll do as well. They'll go down a little bit. They'll be the team that will complete the media tabla Baia. In 12th place, I have a team who performed out of the world last season in Alaves. I think they will also slightly go down compared to last season. So I have them finishing 12th. Now, this is where we enter what I call interesting territory. In 11th place, I got Sevilla. Many people are saying Sevilla, it will be different this year. Such a gigantic club. I don't think they've done enough, to be quite honest with you. I am very curious to see Lokonga play for Sevilla. Obviously, at Luton last season, I thought he had a good season. But I don't think it's going to be enough. Iheanacho was someone I was a big fan of. I would love for him to do well, but he's got big shoes to fill in SERIE. And again, I don't think he's on that level. Losing Ramos' experience as well. Agume is a decent player, but not quite at that level. Mohadinho can give us his opinion, because Mohadinho is a La Liga expert.
Bruno and Joao Pedro or Solanke and Minta? Thank you, sir.
Who would you pick in FPL between Bruno and Joao Pedro or Solanke and Minter? That's easy. Bruno and Joao Pedro. Minter is being overrated like crazy. Minter is someone with 81 potential.
6 months of
Like,
top-tier ball
he's
knowledge.
got great
Any more to
qualities,
come, Sir
but
before.
bro, people are overrating him dramatically. His decision making is very, very subpar. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you. Now, for the top 10. For the top 10. Osasuna. I expect a big season from Osasuna. Really curious to see Zaragoza back in La Liga. We know he killed it when he was there. I don't know why it completely failed at the Bayern Munich. I don't get it. It just didn't work. Obviously, he's a hobbit. He's a dwarf. But, bro, this is someone with immense quality. I like Osasuna a lot. I think they have a top team, good manager, and they'll be 10th, which for them would be a fantastic achievement. Heading into the top 9. In 9th place, Real Betis. Not impressed. Not impressed at all. Can Isco maintain the level he did last season? I'll be surprised if he can. I don't think they've done enough in the market. I don't think they'll be as good as they have been in recent years, to be quite honest with you guys. So I have them 9th. In 8th place, Villarreal. Top manager. Top manager. But they need a striker. They have not been able to replace Sorloth yet. I worry for them because this is a team who should finish higher. But again, they've just not done enough in the transfer market. So I've got Villarreal so far. I expect them to get a striker. They have to get one. So it's going to depend who they get. So far, as things stand, I have to go with this. We will try and anticipate the market here and there. But in this situation, I'm not expecting Villarreal, even if they do depend the market, to get a top superstar. And yeah, Nicolai Pepe, that's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. Now, in 7th place. No, sorry. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 7th place. In 7th place, I've got Girona. They're not going to be able to maintain the level they did last season. Straight up, not a chance in hell. I've got them 7th. And I'm going to be honest with you, I think that's being a bit generous. I think these two can interchange. I can see them interchanging. Losing Dovbyk. And more than Dovbyk, Alex Garcia is a problem. Big problem for him.
Nothing Valencia higher than 8th. You're on drugs or clip farming.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see soon. We're gonna see soon. And of course, Savio. Losing Savio as well. Jan Couto. These are... And juggling Champions League as well. This is something you're going to hear me repeat time and time again. Teams that are juggling European football with league football, especially a club like Girona, they're not equipped to be able to do that. 7th place maximum. Into the top 6. Valencia 6th. I laugh at people that think I'm putting Valencia too high. I laugh because you don't know and you don't understand. Number one, you don't understand their manager. You don't know who he is. You don't know what he was able to accomplish as a player. You don't understand his football IQ as a player because you weren't watching. You're a bunch of filthy, dirty premtars who wouldn't know football if it slapped you silly. Wait your turn. We'll get to the Premier League predictions, then you can maybe speak to me. On this topic, you can't speak to me. On this topic, I speak to Bohadinho. I speak to Amori on this topic. Either way. Valencia, obviously a gigantic club, However, in recent years, they've been plagued with financial problems. The Chinese have tried destroying the club almost the same way they tried destroying Inter as well. Valencia have players coming through, and that's what keeps them
54
going.
months. Call me crazy, but Madrid will make a push for Trent before the summer.
You reckon?
ends. Contract expires in 12 months.
True.
We've been going after him hard, and Liverpool won't let him go for free.
Maybe I'm thinking potentially. I see what you're saying, because maybe I don't think Trent would want to even leave Liverpool for free, but we'll see. Anyways, Valencia have two players who after this season everybody will be after. One of them is Javi Guerra, who we already know. The other one you guys don't know, but you will get to know. In my opinion, the highest potential out of any centre-back. You think Kubarsi is good? Jarek Gasirovski, who's been on my, obviously, hit list even before the European Championships that I've told you guys all about him before. Incredible performance in the Euro Under-19 finals to cement his stature already. Superstar. Bonafide superstar. And then I like the team. I like the manager. I'm expecting a big season from Hugo Duro this season. I feel like if he can improve his finishing, then Valencia will definitely hit top 6. Comfy. Now, in 5th place, I've gone for Sociedad. With Sociedad, obviously, Zubimendi staying is huge for them. Huge. And again, a top manager. There's a lot of top managers in La Liga. However, with Sociedad, what happened to them last season? They start well, and then all of a sudden, right, they enter a period where they couldn't score a goal. And the same thing is going to happen. I don't see enough goals. They haven't addressed that problem. Lenormand and Merino potentially gone. Well, Lenormand is gone. Merino potentially gone as well. That'll be tough. But it should be enough to get them 5th. Because their quality in the team and the quality in the manager is more than enough. Sadiq is shit. Now, we entered the top 4. And the top... E.T. Mini cramp. Oof. The top 4 will be the top 4 from last season. In 4th, obviously no surprises here in that sense. With Nico Williams staying at Bilbao. Nico Williams, the difference for Athletic Bilbao compared to the rest of these teams that you see below them is firepower. They have more firepower than the others, and that will be enough to get them 4th. They'll be juggling 2 competitions, Bilbao, as well. Make no mistake about it, because Europa League, for them this season especially, means a lot, because the final is taking place in Bilbao. So they'll be gunning for that. I've got them 4th. I think it'll be enough to finish 4th. Now. Now then. The vibes headed into this season with many people is they believe we're approaching, in Spain, they believe we're approaching 13-14 season again. They believe for the first time since 2021 we're going to have a 3-horse race. I say 13-14 because the level of quality in particular has increased. I don't think in 2021 the level of quality for these 3 teams was high. It was very, very low, as a matter of fact. I still look at that title as the title that nobody wanted to win. Eventually it was won by Atletico, but it was a title nobody wanted to win. This season, I genuinely think all of these 3 teams are in a better position than they were in 2021. Obviously, Barcelona, yes, they don't have Messi anymore. Messi at the time was the best player in world football, Ballon d'Or winner. But the rest of the team, madre mia, it left a lot to be desired. Atletico's transfer window incredible. I think they're missing a defender still. They need one more defender if they want to make sure it's a 9-10 out of 10 window. Julian Alvarez, people don't understand how good this guy is. They still don't. They soon will. They soon will. Incredible signing. I see people talking about the price. As always, people trying to spin it and attack Manchester City. How have Manchester City sold this guy for 80 million? It's so funny because it comes from the same fan bases where some of their clubs spent 80 million on the likes of Nicolai Pepe or Anthony or Darwin Núñez, which I find absolutely hilarious. But they're thinking Alvarez, who's won everything there is to win in football already, is the person that is not worth 80 million. Much less, that's another separate topic. Incredible. And Sorloth as well. Let's not forget, La Liga top scorer, eh? Like after Dovbyk. Second to Dovbyk. Almost top scorer. He was 2 goals behind Dovbyk, right, at the end. How close was it between them two? I think it was 2 goals in it. Either way, Sorloth, can he make that extra level and get the top scorer maybe this year, you know, with Griezmann assistant? Alvarez will play like a second striker, 1 behind. There you go. It was 1 goal in it. Barcelona. I think Barcelona have the manager that is best attracted to win this league title. Hansi Flick is a league coach, I call him. You know, the way he sets his team to play football, Hansi Flick is going to accumulate a lot of points. The problem for Barcelona is this. The transfer window so far, in my opinion, has not been great. It's been poor. And that's where I'm a little bit struggling with them. Because if they brought in the players they should have brought in, we should be looking at definitely in the bookies odds as well. I think really, really close to Real Madrid. But there's a reason why there's a gap. No defensive midfielder, no left winger, no goalkeeper to replace, if not Ter Stegen, at least to put legitimate competition towards Ter Stegen. I mean, their second goalkeeper last season, fucking hell, cost them God knows how many points. And in my opinion, the way they've handled the whole Vitor Roque situation is shambolic. Because there is someone that you should be roaming as the backup to Lewandowski, or someone that can play left winger, and they've completely dished him aside, which is crazy because they spent 40 million that they haven't even got. So, also keep in mind, Araujo's injured to start the season, and Kubarsi, he's had a Pedri season. He's played in the Olympics, well, not quite that level because he came in late, but he was also struggling a bit towards the end of last season. Don't put too much pressure on the kid. Frankie de Jong, will he play? I don't know. I think he's perfect for Hansi Flick's system. Nobody knows when he's coming back. You know, Dani Olmo, where does he play? Dani Olmo, Pedri, and Gundogan. Can they play together? So I think Dani Olmo suits Flick's system. But then what do you do with Pedri? What do you do with Gundogan? So I've got a lot of questions that aren't really being answered yet. Gavi can play as part of the two, though. You know. Here's the good news for Barcelona. Obviously, Lamine Yamal, I mean, the greatest 16-year-old we've ever seen. Can he be the greatest 17-year-old we've ever seen? If he continues on the spot, sure. He's going to be fighting for the La Liga MVP already. Make no mistake about it, you know? So, that's a bit positive. And I think the other positive, this is split opinion in Barcelona dressing room. Or amongst Barcelona fans, sorry. Lewandowski suits this system. He understands it. Remember, this is under the same coach where he was undisputedly the best player in the world in 2020. Broke all the records. He's not going to hit those numbers. But it suits the way he wants to play. He'll bring others into play and then he can get on the end of things himself. I think he'll have a good season. I really do think Lewandowski will score a lot of goals for Barcelona, as much maybe as he scored in 2021. But with all that said, and obviously then you've got Real Madrid, who will head into the season as the favorites. We seen them yesterday. Still a couple of questions. And I'll tell you this about Real Madrid right now. I don't think they're going to get as many points as they got last season. I'll tell you that straight away. I think the Toni Kroos loss is huge. We seen it yesterday. I don't think they have a player in midfield with similar qualities. But the individual ability that they have, and more than the individual ability, the squad that they have, they're going to be able to juggle both competitions perfectly fine, all three, like they done last season. Make no mistake about it, the unsung heroes from last season were players like Camavinga to some degree, Brahim Diaz in particular.
Thank God I
Unbelievable.
missed the first 40 minutes of this stream. Back to bed I go.
Bugger off, dirty FIFA rat. Dirty Prem Dart, bugger off. And obviously they'll now have an Arda Güler in a better state than last season, fully fit with confidence. So they have the squad that I don't think even these other two necessarily have. Barca have depth, Real Madrid have better quality in depth. Ferran Torres and shit, I don't know. But all things considered, this is how I place them. And again, warning, spoilers, so look away. I don't know what it is recently, but I've gone up a couple of levels. If I was called the spoiler 2 years ago, they gave me the nickname. This is the spoiler 2.0. I've gone up a level, so if you don't want it to be spoiled, look away immediately. La Liga 2024-2025 will finish as follows. The champions will be Real Madrid. Too much firepower. Too much. And these two are still a little bit short. A little bit short. In third place, Barcelona. In second place, Atletico de Madrid. I'll tell you this. It's going to be close. It's not going to be 20 points between Real Madrid and Barcelona. I think between these three teams, we're looking at 10 points maximum. Between these three teams. It's going to be close, but I think Madrid will have too much for either team. Atletico ahead of Barcelona. Now, how can or what could change this? If Barca go and get Nico Williams, that can change things 100%. But at this point, I can't go under that assumption. I just can't. Amori, do you agree? Drake, do you agree? We'll come back to this and you see how big of an effing moron you are. Wallahi, spoiler 2 chromosomes extra. Coles, I don't understand how you attack me when you're a dirty FIFA. What the hell do you know? I don't get it. You were saying Barcelona to win the Champions League last season. What happened?
Moses parting the sea. Mosquito sounding voice. Helicopter landing zone on top of your head. Black belt in waffling.
Thank you, Amori says I've got it spot on. He doesn't believe Valencia will be that high, but Amori says I've got the rest spot on. Thank you, Amori. Appreciate it, sir. So that's La Liga spoiled. Yeah, but Ibrahim, I think with Alaba's coming back as well, don't forget, you know? I respect Luna, but Courtois is a different level, 100%. 100%. The thing with Real Madrid, the final thing I'll say about them that impressed me yesterday was Vinicius and Jude Bellingham. They could easily yesterday have felt intimidated by Mbappe. They could have easily felt like, shit. How can we maintain this level now Mbappe's coming? Are we forced to play second fiddle to him? But the opposite happened. Both players elevated their level, which is incredibly impressive. So in a way, and this was the thing that needed to happen for Real Madrid. What needed to happen was that Mbappe knows that it's not his team. He's just one of the 11. Madu Amori. Betis versus Girona is about to go underway. Betis atmosphere. Amori. Madu. And this is atmosphere that you won't find in England, I'm sorry to say, man. This is a different level entirely. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Remember what I have here. But we'll leave this one booked and saved. Betis and Sevilla way too low. I disagree. I don't think Sevilla have done it now. Tag me.
Michael Elise is the Kylian Mbappe of Riyad Mahrez's. Marcus Rashford is the Ollie Watkins of Cristiano Ronaldo's. Now listen to me on this one. Levi Colwill is the Alexander Isak of Nathan Ake's. You get what I'm cooking up here. Do you want some more? I'll bloody give you some more. Nicholas Jackson is the Neymar of Darwin Núñez's. You must understand what I'm doing here. You get it. Why am I explaining it to you? This is a good one. Dean Henderson is the Dominic Solanke of Jordan Pickford's. Eh? If you don't get it now, you'll never get it. Bernardo Silva is the Lionel Messi of James Milner's. If you get what I'm doing, if you get what I'm cooking, leave some more in the comments and I'll make a part 2.
Some geezer called Ryuza sent me this Amori. I don't understand. What the fuck? Dirty, filthy Premtar.
Michael Elise.
Fuck, man.
Let me spoil the night with your mother, you clown. First I will kiss her, then I will spit on her and her. Slowly getting into her and kiss her, after that little touch on the back and turn her around. She cries after that, you fatty. Visca Barca.
So as you can tell, I've obviously upset a few Barcelona fans. If you should do what I said, like I said, it's 10 points between you guys, which is definitely probably more than what many others will give you. So understand. Don't blame me. Don't attack me. You had everything to be here. You had everything, but unfortunately, you bought the wrong players, or I don't exactly understand what you're doing. But alas, Madrid first, Atletico 2, Barca 3. That's the top 3 in order. Moving on from Spain, we take a quick flight. Hang on a minute, we've been interrupted on the flight. Wally wants us to rate his FPL team. I've already, bro, that's the worst fucking team I've seen. I mean, I'll be honest with you. That's the worst team I've ever seen already. Amori, can you believe this shit? What the fuck? Hang on a minute, what's this interrupted? That can't be real. No. Mato. Oh, sorry, you're right. So, pum. So, So, here's what I voted for. It's a little bit too late for you guys to copy me on this. Obviously, Real Madrid will win La Liga. Bilbao will finish the highest from these teams. Who will finish La Liga top scorer? This one's not going to be a clear win, but I've gone for Mbappe. I definitely believe he's going to win the top scorer award. Lewandowski will finish second. Lewandowski will score a lot of goals, but not enough. And then I'm curious to see what happens with Atletico. Like, who's the alpha at Atletico? Like, is Sorloth going to outscore Alvarez? I'm curious to see. I think the goals will be a little bit more spread out. Who will get the most assists? This one was really easy for me. I've gone Antoine Griezmann. Majority went with other who idiots. Yamal was a shout, I'll give you that. I was tempted by Lamine Yamal. However, I've gone with Antoine Griezmann. When you're talking about assists, also factor in who takes corners and that kind of stuff. Griezmann takes them. Amori went with Vinicius. Danny Olmo, yeah, sure thing, bro. Have you seen Vinny yesterday? I did. And trust me, Griezmann. Who will win La Liga MVP? This naturally goes usually to the team or a player from the team that wins the league. Real Madrid will win the league. Mbappe will get top scorer in his first season. I went with Mbappe. I think they'll give it to Mbappe. Yamal got 14% of the votes. Other got 13%. Yeah, and those were the La Liga ones. Baena Prem third. Baena doesn't have Sordo to give the ball to. Anyways, moving on from Spain, we take a flight to Italy. This one... Has it got one with... you know, this is... this is, I think, the toughest league to call this year, I think. Obviously, statistically the best league in the world. I think the level will go up as well in Italy this year, which I'm really fascinated by. I think the teams that have been promoted will bring a lot to this league. But we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be very interesting. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you who's going straight back down. Fuck out of here, kit merchants. Drake's invested in the club as well. That's all you need to know. They'll finish 20th, rock bottom. Maybe they can. Maybe at least they got the best kit, right? At least that's what. Or the Tap and Bombazo. That's what most people judge them on, anyways. Still work needed. Jesus Christ. See, if Omodion remains at Atletico as well, that's going to be super interesting to see. Anyways, in 19th place, I'm going with a team that performed exceptionally well last season. Well, they're not going to maintain it. I'm going with Lecce to finish 19th. Losing Pogoracic is a big loss for them. He was obviously their best player, their best centre-back. And I think he's going to be a big loss. I don't think they're going to be able to maintain the same level that they done last season. And joining them to be relegated will be Cagliari. I think Ranieri, I don't think it's spoken enough about. I think he done a really good job last year, like with the team. Done really well to keep them alive. He's gone. He's retired. So I don't think they're going to be able to stay in the league. I've gone with them to finish 19th. In 18th. In 17th, I've gone with a team that has been flirting with relegation on a continuous basis. Udinese. They always find a way to somehow stay in. And I think the same will happen. Alexis Sanchez back at the club where it all began for him. I think they'll just stay. They'll just stay. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if they go down. But I've gone with them just to stay. In 16th place, I've gone with Empoli, who will just about also survive. Last season, they survived with quite literally the last kick of the game. Goal, post, offside. Girona almost scored. They still have Luka and Samardžić. They have Luka, but Samardžić is on his way out. Luka's terrible. Terrible. In 15th place, I've gone with Parma, who maybe this is more hope than anything else, but I really, really hope they stay up. I really hope they stay up. Obviously, incredibly historic club. Young people will not understand just how big this club was. I hope they'll do enough to stay up. That's 15th. In 14th place, I've gone with Genoa. A revelation from last season. They were incredible. They overperformed. The Gilardino done remarkably well. The problem is this. They've lost Retegui. They've lost their goalkeeper, Martinez, to Inter. And they've also, or rather they will, lose their best player, Gudmundsson. when a club loses literally their 3 best players, I mean, I don't care who you're going to be able to replace them with, especially if a club like Genoa, it's not going to be enough. So, goal. Betis have opened the scoring from a corner against Girona. Girona already in disarray. The team that were top of La Liga last season in January find themselves behind in the first game of the season. Bartra is the one that scored for Betis. Madu. And that checks. Fuck, chat, did we have Betis too low? Fuck. Chat. No, it's relax. It's first game of the season. Relax. Relax. I thought I switched them around, but... Now relax. Don't be reactionary. Relax. It's locked in. Relax. Now, moving on. In 13th place, to make up the lower mid-table, the final team in the lower mid-table, I'm going with Verona. I like them. I think they're going to be a surprise for many people. I really do. They've lost their manager, which he's gone to Lazio. That's a problem. However, they're a team also with heritage, with aura. And I use that not like the kids use it. I mean it more in the sense, like I told you earlier. There's a certain something in the team that they've been able to maintain. There's a reason why they come back up and they manage to stay. I think they can build up on from last season and move a little bit higher. Now, in 12th place, I've gone with Monza. They've had, in my opinion, a terrible transfer market so far. Losing Colpani, losing Di Gregorio, they won't have Carboni. I think these are big losses. And I don't think they're going to be able to do as well. And they've lost their manager as well. So they're not going to be able to do as well as they've done in recent years. In 11th place, I've gone for Torino. I think Juric has always been one of the most underrated managers in Italy. Torino have always been the best of the rest, if you will. And I think losing Juric will finally show the flaws that they've always been in this club. Also, losing Buongiorno is a big loss. A lot is going to depend on Schur's status. He was one of the best centre-backs, then he had that ACL injury. Will he be able to recover? They will need him. In 10th place, into the top half of the table, Como. I believe they're going to take the league by storm. I think Francesc Fabregas is cut from the same cloth as Arteta. I think he's cut from the same cloth as Xabi Alonso. Sure, a lot is going to depend on players staying fit. Varane in particular already injured, which doesn't help. They have experience in their team. I also really like the Dossena signing, and I think they have 2 more. I think they have 2 more signings in them, especially a forward. So with that in mind, I've got them top 10. In 9th place will be a team that will be unable, similar to Girona, to maintain the level they shown last season. Juggling Champions League football plus league football on top of losing Xerxes and Calafiori. I don't think it's enough. They bought a striker who I'm not sure on. I haven't really watched much of him. He's obviously got big shoes to fill. Italiano he's always been a loser manager as well. Plays nice football. But I don't think they're going to be able to maintain that level. You guys like Dalinga? Drake hates Napoli. Dalinga cooked Liverpool. Well, he's got big shoes to fill. Big shoes to fill. So, we'll see. In 8th place, again, I don't envision surprises. I believe the top 7 will be the top 7. I think Fiorentina will be the team that will round up the high table, and the top 7 will be the big 7. Fiorentina, much will depend on whether they can get Gudmundsson. As things stand, they're going to lose Nico Gonzalez to Juventus, and can they be the ones that bring in Gudmundsson? If that happens, they could have a good season. They've replaced Milenkovic, who I think was always a bozo player, with another centre-back who I think will be better than him. Moise Kean, they've overpaid as like crazy for him. I mean, I don't think he's good, but we'll see. We'll see. In 7th, I think Lazio will surprise a few people. Everybody says they're going to finish lower, 10th, 11th, 12th. I think Lazio 7th. I like their manager. But again, transfers-wise, they haven't really done much. They've lost some big players: Alberto, Immobile, Felipe Anderson, experienced players. But they've got some nice young players coming through. Isaacson in particular is a player I would keep an eye on heading into the season. Drake would know him from Denmark. Now, then. Gudmundsson Bombasso. Shit, we were just talking about it. Is it actually... Why lie, chat? Why lie? Like, what do you even get out of that? DiMaggio confirmed Gudmundsson Fiorentina tomorrow. Oh, he deleted it. Orlando, you're so stupid. On to the top 6. In 6th place, straight up. Listen, I'll be honest with you guys. If they can get O'Reilly from Celtic, he's a fantastic player. But again, can he fill Coop Miner's boots? I don't think so. The problem with Atalanta is this. The problem with Atalanta is when they have a good season, they're unable to usually follow it the year after. They inject, like I told you yesterday, Atalanta and Liverpool basically identical, Gasperini and Klopp. They inject their players with God knows what throughout the season. They push themselves to the limit in a season, and then the following season they have to let it all flush out of their system. So Atalanta will finish 6th. The reason they'll finish 6th and ahead of the others is because the others are not good enough. Scamacca ACL already. Scalvini, will see if he'll be able to maintain that level. I don't know. And joining them in 5th, a club who set an incredible transfer window. I'm really curious to see how well they can gel. But the rumors of losing Dybala, I mean, for me, that'll be a big loss even if he necessarily doesn't suit their system. There's still a question mark. If they lose Dybala, can they get Chiesa? They need one more winger. If they get Chiesa, things could change. But I'm going to put Roma 5th. I'm more interested than anything, curious than anything, to see them this season. I think Dovbik La Liga watchers will tell you. What's ADR? ADRD, relax yourself. I know you're the Who Knows Ball champion, but relax. But I've gone Roma 5th. They still got problems. I think in midfield, Cristante is not good enough. Enzo, if he has a question mark, we will see. We will see. And now we enter into the top 4. In 4th place, Juventus. They're the second favorites on paper. I don't understand why. I don't get it. Hear me out.
Good evening, kind sir. Do you think Ekel Linkamp will have a good season at Udinese? He had a very good first season at Royal Antwerp and is now a solid player.
I'm not familiar with him.
Suited deeper or higher up
I'm not familiar at all with him. We'll keep an eye on him. Juventus, as things stand, they need 3 players. They need a center back. They need 2 wingers at least. And Coop Miners, we're counting as already being signed. But that aside, their defense is poor. They've missed out on their first 2 targets, Calafiori and Todebo. Who are they getting? I don't understand. Bremer can't play out from the back. He doesn't suit Motta's system. I'll tell you this. Kepkeren Thuram, he looked good. Douglas Luiz, we all know his qualities. I'm not going to question those qualities. Incredible player, and I believe he'll be their best player. They still have a problem at right back. They don't have a right back. Especially the way Motta wants to play football. And also, they have, well, let's assume Coop Miners goes, they have 2, or rather, they don't have a natural winger yet that's good enough. Nico Gonzalez, if they get him. Sancho, if they get him, we don't know. And even Sancho's not good enough either. These wingers that they're being linked with, they're not top players. And they're losing out Chiesa, who unironically is their best winger, but they're losing him on a well, they have to sell him, otherwise they lose him on a free. Exactly, and they sold Sule, who was better than all the current wingers they have. They want Sterling. Ooh, shiver me timbers. Conceição. Ooh, shiver me timbers. This is what I'm saying. These names do not scare me. I'm not scared. I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned in any way. I've got them fourth. Now, heading into the top 3. I'll be honest with you guys. I think all of these 3 teams can win the league. Tag me.
Hey, let me get a Kurt spam. Let's go. Let me get a Kurt spam in the chat. Let's go, baby.
Blackburn fans, is he good?
Vamos, Kurt.
I am back from vacation and fresh and ready to conquer this season. Kurt 04, let's go.
Much love, name Messi. Yes. He's really good, says Rossi. But championship players, chat, man. How many times have we seen championship players? That's all Ipswich are gambling on. Amor says he's used him FM. He scored like 35 goals last year. Who was that other championship player that was it at Middlesbrough? I forgot the name. He went to Ajax. Ask Ajax how good that guy is. Like, you know what I mean? Championship is the top 5 league. Yeah, in your dreams. Arrogant Premtars. Akpom, yeah. Chuba Akpom. DB me. Holy fuck. Guy Okeres, sure. I give you Guy Okeres, but it's like one of those. Yeah, Akpom is like one of the worst fucking players Ajax have ever seen. Anyways. This is where we're at. Likewise, Ben. Likewise. Thank you for the 14 months. Likewise. Here's where we're at. Napoli so far have not done enough. They've not done enough in the transfer market. This is a team, let's not forget. They won the league 2 years ago. They finished 10th last season. You know? So it's a little bit, the only time I've ever seen that situation would have been Chelsea. Do you remember Chelsea in that period? You know what Chelsea done that year? They went first, 10th, first. So it's one of those things where don't look too much into the fact they finished 10th. They have the best manager in the league. And they'll have a manager who's going to be coaching. His specialty is coaching once a week. We know Conte, when he has European football, he struggles. Once a week, this guy will have them freaking winning like their lives depend on it. But as things stand, they've not done enough in the window. Buongiorno's a good signing, but that's only a part of it. Osimhen will go. Let's assume Osimhen goes, Lukaku comes in. They still need at least another winger. They need 2 more midfielders. and I think another centre back, and I don't think their wing backs yet are at the level as well. So I have questions. Now, Milan. A few months ago, I was loving at them. Let's just say I'm not loving anymore. For me, with Milan, I always looked at the fact that they had to get Xerxes. They had to get him. They haven't. Instead, they've got Morata. Obviously, two different types of players. Here's the concern with Milan. The biggest question mark for me with them was their manager. I thought they should have got Conte. I thought they should have got De Zerbi. The last time I seen Fonseca coach, I thought the guy was one of the biggest losers. Well, chat, I know we can't look too much into preseason, but I've been watching them. And they've been the best team, not just from Italy in the preseason. They've been the best team from Europe. The football, I've always told you this, like Milan, what was holding them back massively was obviously the manager. The manager was completely clueless. When they won the league under Pioli, I told you that's a complete fluke. That's the worst team I've ever seen that won a top 5 league over the past century. Terrible. There was no identity, no style of play. They only won because, number one, they cheated, and number two, we threw it away. And, well, let's avoid that point because they'll cry. But what's up, Amori? Tag me. There's not an Amori. Oh, yeah, but we knew this one. This is the tapping. So this is what I told you guys. So Gudmundsson to Fiorentina and Nico Gonzalez to Juventus, which is basically what we already prepared in here. Now, here's what I'm concerned with Milan the most. Not Morata. I'm concerned, chat, because they have Chukwueze on the right. They have Leao on the left. Fonseca realized, and you're like, well, they had them last season. But chat, Fonseca realized what Chukwueze is capable of. Chat, those are two wingers who, they're going to be tough to contain. Very, very tough to contain. And they've also bought a really good centre-back that I really liked. And I thought that was the biggest problem last season. They kept hold of Manyan. They've kept hold of Theo Hernandez. They've bought a right back which they needed to buy. They're going to have Pulisic playing as a number 10. And now they've got Fofana, who is perfect for the way they want to play, considering how they want to play in front. I'm concerned. And I think they're going to make one more signing. If they get one of Chiesa or even Samardžić or potentially both, that's concerning. Then, to the champions of Italy. My team. Obviously, there was a big gap from Inter to everybody else last season. Strictly because Inter were a top 3 team in world football. Now, when you win a league title, the last time Inter have won league titles, in the treble season and in the 2021 season, both occasions we made a colossal mistake. We didn't push on in the summer. In 2010, we kept the same team. It was an aging team. In 2021, not only did we not push on, we lost 2 of our best players in Lukaku and Hakimi. This year, we've at least kept hold of the entire team. However, in my opinion, I don't think we've done enough. Zielinski and Taremi and Martinez, they're only so much. I think we need a centre back. I think we need a right wing back. And I think we need another striker. And from what I'm being told, I don't think we're getting these players. Maybe we can get a centre back, but I don't think we're getting a right wing back or a striker. And that concerns me. it concerns me massively. Without further ado, I've got Napoli 3. Richie, I'm so sorry, bro. I think they're gonna win the league, man. Fucking hell. It always happens when we get number 20. They're gonna want number 20, and they're gonna get number 20. Inter second. I think we're gonna go for the Champions League this season as well with force. My concern is this: I think Milan are gonna do better against the smaller teams. I think the smaller teams are gonna struggle against Milan. I don't think they're gonna be able to cope with Leao, Chukwueze, Pulisic under Fonseca. I think they're gonna struggle. I think Inter, we also have a goalkeeper question mark. Milan have the best goalkeeper in the league, who didn't play well last season, but I think he's gonna get back to his best this season. I've gone with them. Which pains me to the core. It pains me, man. He tried to convince me. He still thinks Inter will win it, and I hope he's right. He tried to convince me until the last bit, but I couldn't do it. It's going to be close between these three. Similar as in Spain. There's not going to be any team winning it by like 15, 20 points.
Sir, but trust me, you will go back to back. You are the best team in the league. Trust in
We are, MC, the best team in the league. We cannot forget what we done last season. The problem for Inter, though, and for Inzaghi in particular, has been consistency. I hope you're right, man. Count Juve in. Juve ain't going to be fighting for the title. I hope you're right. So, I think Milan will win it. Milan will naturally finish the highest from these. Who will finish as the Serie A top scorer? This one, believe it or not, I believe with the way they play, I don't think Lauti's going to hit the same numbers. With the way they play, I believe Dovbyk for Roma will finish, will go from La Liga to Serie A top scorer. I expect a big season for them. The way De Rossi plays football, it suits him. If Dybala stays, it will be a certainty. But even if he goes and they bring in Chiesa, and you've got Chiesa and Soulé feeding him, I think they could cook. And I think he's going to finish top scorer. Who will get the most assists? I believe Rafael Leao. And the MVP will be Rafael Leao as well, unfortunately. It pains me, don't get me wrong, but that's how I believe it will go in Italy. It ends in 2 days. People will now copy you. I know, but I'll create too much of a gap. Vlahovic monster season. Nah, he's not got enough people feeding him. I don't blame you. They look amazing right now, and I have always said Inzaghi isn't him. I have Inter, but it's more blind faith than anything. Yeah, we've always been on the same wavelength on that one, Richie. I definitely think Inzaghi is overrated as well. I'm with you. We will come back at the end of the season. Sure we will, Daniel. Sure we will. No. Onto the Premier League. We take another trip. From Italy to England. Premtars, you can join. Not the full table, we'll discuss. The Bundesliga, I say with regret. that Bayern Munich will go back to reclaim their throne. I've seen them, they cook. And in France, I expect Marseille to push PSG more than they've been pushed in the recent years, but it's not going to be enough. I keep PSG and Bayern Munich to win their respective leagues. For the Premier League, dead last with no hesitation whatsoever. I'm so sorry, Clint. They've lost their best player on paper. They, similar to the team that got relegated last time, but worse, in my opinion. So, and they've lost the manager as well. And Steve Cooper, I don't understand it. You know, it was, in my opinion, a horrible managerial appointment. I don't get it. I don't understand. So, yeah, and potential points deduction as well, which is crazy. In 19th place, Southampton. Listen, another team that came back up going straight back down. I'm not really impressed. I look at their squad. I don't see anything in that team that tells me they're going to survive. I don't, which is a shame, because I Southampton, Leicester, in my opinion, two big clubs, but I don't see it. I just don't see it. And chat, I'll be honest as well, and I hate to be that guy that does it again, but I think it's going to be the same situation as last season. I think all three that came up will go straight back down. I think the gap between these and the others is too big, and this is in a way a problem that the Premier League have, because when these teams that are here continuously stay in the league, the money that they're making is simply putting them in a position whereby the others' gap to close them down is too big. Ipswich are banking a lot on the Championship. They're buying a lot of the best players from the Championship. I don't think that's going to be enough. You guys tell me McKenna's good, but I don't think it's enough. I look at the rest of these teams here. I don't see who I can put down. I just don't see it. I've put them 8. I hope I'm wrong. I would love to see Ipswich stay in the league. Also a really big club. But I've gone with the 3 that came back up, or to go straight back down. I know Calvin Phillips, Samori. I know, can he cook? Can he play like he played for Leeds? But I just don't think it's enough. I don't see it. The lowest from the rest of the league. This is one of those which it pains me that I have to put this team here, but I feel like I have no choice, because potential points deduction as well. I've gone with Everton. So far, I just don't think they've done enough. I always say the same with Everton. They're not going down. People disrespect them when they say they're going down. I don't see enough. I hope I can put them, but I have not seen enough on the market yet. We'll see. I think they need an attacking player for sure. And from what I'm being told, they're going to lose points deduction again, but they're going to stay up. They're going to stay up. That I am confident in. In 16th place. 16th place. I like the manager. I love Gary O'Neill, but he's been put up to basically dry here. Like the squad is not good enough. The transfer market, in my opinion, was terrible for them. They've lost their best defender in Kilman. They've lost their best player in Neto. I don't see it, man. I again, Gary O'Neill, fantastic manager, but always things are always stacked against him. I feel very unlucky manager because he always overachieves. But I believe this time they're gonna struggle. They're gonna struggle. Close to them will be Brentford. I still have a feeling Ivan Toney will leave before the window is up. And you know what? I don't even think it'll be a big loss for Brentford. We've seen last season, I think they coped relatively well without him. I'm not even sure at the moment he necessarily starts as crazy as it is. I mean, towards the end of the last season, he even got dropped. Like, Saudi want Tony. There you go. Like, I think they'll be fine. I think Embremo and Wissa, I think they'll be fine with those two players. In 40, and obviously Thomas Frank, good manager. In 14th place, I've gone with Fulham. There's a lot of questions at the moment surrounding Fulham. They need centre backs. I believe they'll get one. I don't think it's going to be Joachim Andersen like they're saying. I don't. What I like with Fulham is the manager always seems to be able to maintain a certain standard and level. But the loss of Palhinha cannot be underestimated. They're not going to be able to replace him. How many points did he win them last season? In the big games, especially in the big games. Fulham caused problems to Manchester City. They caused problems to Arsenal. Primarily, it was because of Palhinha. He's gone, they'll struggle. But Smith Rowe, Muniz, it'll be fun to see them combine. I want to see what they can cook. And I think, like I said, the manager is an attacking manager who, generally speaking, has his teams playing some nice football. They're really strong on the fullbacks as well. Good goalkeeper. So that's a good position. Now, the last team to complete the lower mid. Forest. I think this is the year it clicks for them. I think people putting them to go down, I think you're crazy. I've always felt with Forest that they're on the verge of doing something remarkable. Anderson, they overpaid like fuck for him. But he's a good player. Morgan Gibbs-White, top. The wingers, I think this is where it will click. And naturally, they've lost Niakite, which is a big loss. They brought in Milenkovic, Bozo type of player. He's not brilliant, but he's got good qualities, physically especially. So I believe it's going to click. And that's true, the manager is questionable, but I think it's going to click for them. So that's what's going to complete my lower. Bro, this Betis Girona game is crazy end to end, man. Holy shit. The higher mid table. Obviously, this is where we enter. I don't think there's a gap, mind you, by the way, because I think Palace are 12th, and Palace to me are more in this level. Incredible what the manager was performing last season with Palace. But they've lost their best player. I've always told you, Eze is not their best player. Olise is. And if they lose the Anderson as well, that's a big loss. Big loss. It's a shame that they weren't able to push on, because if they kept him, I think they could have cooked. Eze potentially going as well. So yeah, those are big losses. They've brought in Kamada, who was shit for Lazio last season. Terrible. Gueye could leave. Could be problems, but I trust the manager enough to at least keep them 12th. I think they'll stay there. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it could be 13 or 14. But I got them staying. In 11th, this is where I believe, in my opinion, there is a slight gap. Because, yes, listen. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think Brighton are being slightly overrated. Like, when you bring all these children together, right? It's like their manager himself is basically a child as in managerial terms. I have reservations. I have question marks. I think defensively, they're going to struggle like they did last season. They're missing Verbruggen, who's out. I think Kadioglu's a top player, but defensively, I've also Lewis Dunk, they overrated him like crazy. He was never as good as they say he was. The best player for Brighton, in my opinion, remains Joao Pedro. I think he's an incredible player. You know how much I like him. He's got all the makings to go to the next level. Now, should players like Mitoma coming back, players like Solimarch coming back, yeah, a bunch of others like you name it, the new signing Minta, Pascal Gross left as well, so that's lack of experience. Lallana left as well, that's lack of experience. Bonanotte is going on loan. Ferguson, there's question marks though. There's a lot of question marks. Billy Gilmore potentially leaving. I'm going 11th. I think they're being overrated by people. I see people putting them top 8 or what. No chance. I'm going 11th. And yes, I think Bournemouth will finish above Brighton. 100%. How is people not speaking enough about the window that Bournemouth are having? I mean, it's exceptional. It's exceptional. They lost Solanke. They replaced him with Evan Nilsson immediately. Level-wise, they're the same. They're the same. There's no difference. I promise you. I tell you this. And defensively, they've strengthened. Parameters don't know who Huijsen is. The top player, it's hilarious because Juventus let him go when literally he's better than whoever they're going to bring in. But that's how bad that club is operating. So, Bournemouth above Brighton. And I expect them to cook on high heat. Araujo, I like him as well. Julian Araujo, I think he'll be a good signing for them. And yeah, I'm really curious to see how they will shine. Mamardashvili potentially as well in goal. We'll see. That's pending confirmation. But that will definitely solidify me. And remember, I was the only one that put them in the top half last season. Everybody had them being relegated. Sure, I maybe stepped it a bit, but do not forget who's speaking right now, okay? The only person that backed them. Nobody else was backing them. Everybody said relegation. Thank you, Aiden. Ignore them. They don't understand. Leicester City last is the most important. Yeah, bro, come back to this. We'll come back to this. We'll come back to this. Now then, as you can see, I've not really gone with a lot of surprises for the top. What are we? Top 9. I think this is the top 9. The fascinating thing is, what order will they be? This one pains me. It pains me dearly. But I think Aston Villa 9th. I'm so sorry, man. You know, I was the one that again backed you guys last season. I didn't think you finished 4th. I put you 5th. Again, nobody had you guys finish in top 5. But let me tell you something that people aren't factoring in with Aston Villa. Douglas Luiz was Aston Villa's best player by some distance. He was their best player for last season. He was the best player the year before. He was everything. People say Ollie Watkins, Ollie freaking who, man? It was all about Douglas Luiz. Onana's a good signing, but a completely different profile. Madsen, sure, decent, but again, I've got question marks. I've got reservations about that fella, especially his mentality. I think without Douglas Luiz, I don't think Ollie Watkins is going to thrive as much as he did. I think Diaby's a loss as well. I mean, fuck. Like, people forget, but sure, he faded, but shit, man. He had a good debut season, and he just faded at the end, but shit, man. Leon Bailey, I think a lot will rest on him. I like him, but they're missing that player now behind the striker. And in my opinion, I thought that was going to be Felix. And if they got Felix, it would have elevated them. But when it comes to playing Champions League football, plus the Premier League with the squad they currently have, they need 2 more players. We'll see if they'll be able to get them. And they need them of a certain quality. They need another defender and another number 10. I'm more fascinated to see. We'll see. As things stand, I've got them 9th. In 8th place. They won't be playing any European football. We know that affects it, right? Tonali is like a new signing. You've got potentially Gueye coming in. However, my problem with Newcastle is, yet again, they still have not been able to address the right wing problem that they've had for God knows how many years. I like Livramento, I like Lewis Hall. I think it could be a bit of a breakout season for them. In a way, I think they should have sold Trippier. I think they should give the keys to Livramento. Defensively, if they don't bring in Gueye, they're going to have problems. Because obviously Botman's still out. I don't know what even stage he'll be when he comes back. They want Madueke. That would be an upgrade over what they have. But again, I don't think Madueke is a spectacular player by any means. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know if they're going to be able to hold on to Anthony Gordon. But I'll get on to that later. Because I'll be honest with you, I have no idea why Barcelona, Liverpool, or Manchester City haven't gone for him. You know my opinions on Anthony Gordon. I think he's exceptional. And I don't get it. I think he may leave, but we'll see. We'll see. And I think they'll keep Bruno, they'll keep Isaac, but Gordon is the one I think they could lose. But we'll see. Either way, the reason I have Newcastle not going higher than this is because the manager is not good enough. Point blank, period. Not good enough. The best thing that can happen to Newcastle is if England come and ask you guys to have Eddie. Then you hand him.
Selected the opening weekend of the football as her wedding weekend, so have missed most of the stream due to travel. Which leagues have you already spoiled? Viva el football as always.
Here you go, kind sir. That's La Liga. That's Serie A. You said cousin. Honestly, if it was sister, obviously you have to go. Cousin? Is it really worth missing most of the first match day to go to your cousin's wedding? I don't think I'll do it personally. But no way. Ornstein. No. Crazy MC. Now then. I don't think there's going to be surprises. I think the top 6 will be the top 6 this season. In 7th place, West Ham. The market that they've had, I am in love. One of the best I've seen any team have. Much less a team who, in their position from last season, who didn't finish in the European places and were still able.
Is dreadful. Especially the Portuguese. Not like this. I lost count of how many times I cringed after your Buffon comments about football from my country. European football going on right now, and you are doing a prediction.
Much less for a team that is not going to be participating in Europe this season. And that is why I have them finishing 7th. That is why I have West Ham finishing above Newcastle and Aston Villa. No European football. It matters. It matters big time. They have a squad that is better than the one they had last year, and they're not playing Europe. I don't think people are quite understanding the level at which the transfers that West Ham have made. I don't think people get it. Todibo, exceptional. Top. One Bissaka for a team like West Ham, decent. Upgrade over Soufal, in my opinion. Again, not a great player, but an upgrade. Then you... Guido Rodriguez. Do you understand who he is, Premtars? Do you not know who Guido Rodriguez is? Well, you soon will. Well, you soon will. Top player. Ask Mr. Messi how good Guido Rodriguez is. Top. And he may not even start. That's how good their squad is already as it is. Kudus. Are people not watching Kudus? Did they not see Kudus last season? Did you not see with your eyes? Because let me tell you something about Kudus. There were 2 games with Kudus that stick to my mind that made me certain that, hang on a minute, this player is not cut from the same cloth. Funnily enough, it was the worst performance from West Ham in the entire season. Away to Chelsea. 6-1? 6-1 was the score. Watch Kudus in that game. You want to know how good a player is? Watch him when the rest of the team is shit in the bag. That's a player. I expect him to up it up a level. Kudus on the right, Somerville on the left. Somerville. Do you guys understand Somerville? Leeds fans, can you educate these fools? I know you're a little bit sore because you've lost him, but do you understand? Madre mia Gesù. Madre mia Gesù. All of that with the ability to start with Bowen up front and have a dynamic trio of Somerville left, Kudus right, Bowen up front with Paqueta behind them. Or alternatively, if that's not working, last 30 minutes, no problem. Bring on the big man. Bring on the big number 9. Who, let me tell you something, is better than Arsenal striker, is better than Chelsea striker, is better than Liverpool striker. 7th. And fucking hell, man. The only reason I don't put you higher is because you need time to gel. And I have a small question mark left defensively. I like Kilman, you overpaid for sure, but I still have a question mark defensively. That's the only reason I don't put you higher. But Alvarez top player. Guido Rodriguez will also be able to protect the defense well enough. We'll see. The question mark surrounding Paqueta is also we'll see. Kudus plays number 10. They can go either. They can go Bowen right, Somerville left, Kudus 10, Paqueta deeper with full crook up top. Easily rotate. Kilman Todibo. Yeah, but I still have a question mark. I still have a question mark how it will link. It's, listen, you bring in players, but you need to see how they gel together as well, you know? And Lopetegui, Lopetegui's not on Emery's level, for example. So
Chat watch him put Man City first just so that Rat MCFC will pay his rent for another season. Sports washing oil merchant.
Now onto the top 6. I don't think there'll be surprises. I think the top 6 will be the top 6 this season. Devin, thank you for the 35, sir. 6th place, easy, Liverpool. I just don't understand, really. I'll be honest with you, I just don't get it. I do not understand it. Here's the thing with Liverpool. Alisson's on the decline. Step number 1. If you've watched Liverpool in the past years and you ask who their best player was, if you really know, Alisson was their best player in every season in the past 3 seasons. He's on the decline. I've been watching him. Watch the Copa America footage. Alisson is on the decline. Centre backs wise, it's the strongest department. I love Kwanzaa. I think he's fantastic. I think Konate didn't have a good season last season, but I still think he's quality. They need a left back badly. The decline of Robertson has been so poor to see. Tsimikas, if I speak, I'm in big trouble. Amori says you've got this horribly wrong. Liverpool are clearly signing 2 more players. Top 4 guaranteed, no chance. Too many. No defensive midfielder. Whoever Liverpool bring in that position, Zubimendi was the one that... The only other player I see is Ugarte. Ugarte, or maybe Frankie de Jong, but I don't think that's realistic, so it's not happening. Big problem there. Big problem. Then you start moving up. I don't think SpongeBob is good enough. Even if this system suits him more, he just hasn't got the quality to break down the low blocks, which is how Liverpool are going to be operated mostly this season under Hank Schrader. They slow it down and then they try and break down low blocks. I don't think that suits SpongeBob. And another player it most certainly does not suit is Mo Salah. He is on the decline. We know this. You know, the greatest right winger the Premier League has ever seen. 100%, no question about it. But he's also on the decline. Like, Salah thrives, like I've told you already, in chaos. Under Hank Schrader's objective is to reduce chaos. So he now wants Mo Salah to get the ball and try and still dribble past players and then create something. We've seen his passing last season. Remarkable. What do champions do? Champions, the really top champions, the top players, they have the ability to adapt their play style as they get older. And that is what Mo Salah has done. Make no mistake about it. However, and his passing ability was exceptional. However, his dribbling is declining with each passing year at a dramatic pace. And I don't think without the ability to dribble past players and create space for himself, I think Salah's going to be nerfed this season versus what he's been able to perform in the past seasons. And make no mistake about it, Salah has been fooling people recently because he starts exceptionally well. But if you keep an eye on him, he fades as the season goes dramatically he's done this over the past 2 years. Especially with AFCON in the past, AFCON goes and then, bro, the second half of the season, really poor. Still top, don't get me wrong. I don't want to disrespect him in any way because you know me, I put him ahead of Hazard. But we have to call it like it is. He's on the decline. It happens. What can we do? Then, the left winger, Luis Diaz. You know my opinions on him. The Colombian Aaron Lennon, nothing is going to change. Jota, sure, he knows where the back of the net is, but he's a dirty FIFA rat who's constantly injured. And then, I love this because Liverpool fans have somehow deluded themselves into thinking that Hank Schrader is going to unlock Darwin Núñez. If Jurgen Klopp couldn't unlock Darwin Núñez, nobody is unlocking Darwin Núñez. If you think Darwin Núñez is going to fit this system in any way, you're just delusional. Because Darwin Núñez needs space. Without space, he's useless. Hank Schrader reduces space. It's over. Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez ain't going to work. Then the player I'm most fascinated to see for Liverpool is Gakpo. I think Gakpo this season could be Liverpool's best attacker. But where exactly is he going to fit into the system? I think he needs to give him the keys. But we'll see. And that was my point. My point is I think Liverpool needed Anthony Gordon as well. They weren't able to seal the deal. They need a left winger, a striker, in my opinion. They need a defensive midfielder and a left back. And one more potential centre back, but that's just cover. So far, they've not even brought in one. We'll see in it. We'll see at the end of the window. I have to go off what I'm seeing here. But yeah. 6th for Liverpool. Maximum. We'll come back to this. And it's not necessarily, by the way, that Hank Schrader is a bad manager, because I told you. He's better than Amorim, that's for sure. But when you're a player, and this is something you guys maybe can't really relate to because you've never really competed in any sport. But when you're competing in a team sport, and you're there listening to your manager, before you're about to go step onto the pitch, it matters. Go watch the video that Liverpool posted. One of the videos, I forgot which one it was. Look at the way the Liverpool players were looking at Hank Schrader. Look at the way Alisson was looking at him. Look at the way Van Dijk was looking at him. Look at the way Salah was looking at him. They have doubts. They have questions. Side eyes. Massive side eyes. Massive side eyes.
Hank Schrader would never.
Massive side eyes. And also do not underestimate one important factor as well, which is important to mention, because I feel like this often gets overlooked as well when it comes to Liverpool Football Club. Alisson, Van Dijk, Salah, Trent could all leave next season. Every single one of them. They've not committed. They haven't committed for a reason. They have doubts. You gotta call it like it is. There's a realistic chance they could lose all 4 next season. And then what? I mean, sure, then it's a rebuild, but fuck. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Did you just think me a fucking training session? Are you crazy? Anyways, in 5th place, now, there are, obviously this is, as always, the club with the most question marks. I'm not completely sold on Maresca, but I think he'll be an upgrade over Pochettino. Make no mistake about that. For that reason, I've got Chelsea 5th. I think Nkunku will have a spectacular season. I'm calling it right now. I think Nkunku will be not necessarily the Palmer of last season, not at that kind of numbers level, because that was an exceptional level, but he'll be there. Now, with Chelsea, there's one question mark that is important, that is left to answer. If Osimhen goes, everything changes. I am making this on the assumption that Osimhen is not going to Chelsea, because I don't think he will. With Osimhen, everything changes. However, when I say everything changes, only to so much. I think Chelsea will be title contenders, but they even with Osimhen, they'll have no choice but to eventually fade. Why? Because defensively. I've watched all of Chelsea's pre-season matches. no matter what centre-back partnership they put together, they've looked awful every single time. There's a massive hole in the middle. They still have a goalkeeper problem. Jorgensen from Villarreal, I liked him last season when I watched him. There's a game he had against Barcelona in particular where he was exceptional. However, again, it's still a gamble. We don't know. We're not exactly sure. From the midfield onwards, there's no denying, I think Chelsea are going to cook going forward. When you got players like Pedro Neto, Palmer, and Kunku, Mudryk, they're going to cook. The problem is, at the moment, there's no number 9. So that's they're missing the spine. The goalkeeper, centre-back, striker spine. Caicedo and Enzo, I expect them to definitely up the level this season as well. Yeah, I said Mudryk. And what? Did you not see the post he posted on Instagram? Did you not see that haircut? Look that into his eyes. That's an alpha male. That's why you guys struggle to relate to Mudryk. 5th, pending. As always, please look away now. Warning, spoiler alert. Respect Jackson, he's a good player, but a second choice. Grow the hell up, Orlando. In 4th spot, Spurs. I don't think they've had a particularly great window. I think it could have gone better for them. I like the Archie Gray signing. I like the Lucas Bergvall signing a lot. I think he has high potential. Solanke is an upgrade over what they had. However, they've overpaid dramatically, but that's another side point. Watch out for Mikey Moore this season. We could get to see him, especially with how shit Brennan Johnson is. Defensively, we know all about Spurs. I think they're exceptional. However, where I still have reservations and question marks are right back defensively, back up to Udogoy, and I still think they needed another midfielder. Like Archie, there's going to be a lot riding on his shoulders because I think they needed a little bit more experience in that midfield. I personally would have gone and got someone else as well aside from him, but we'll see. I think people also underestimate them because on paper, Romero, Van den Ven, that for me remains up there with the best partnerships in the league, no doubt about it, and they'll build upon that. And with Solanke, which they were completely missing a number 9, it will allow Son to be able to also play what I think is his strongest position, which is on the left-hand side. 4th for Spurs. Romero is average at best. Tell me you don't know anything about football without telling me. Zenray, this is your problem. You say Romero's average at best because you only watch the Premier League, and more often than not, you only watch Romero against your teams. You probably still think Romero is this lunatic who's just constantly slide tackling and crushing people, when in reality, if you watched him last season, he's been able to get that part of his game under control, and then in the Copa America, he was the best defender in the tournament by a landslide. But as always, you wouldn't know that. There's a reason why Real Madrid, if they wanted, they tried. They inquired about Romero. But yeah, you probably think Gabriel is better than Romero. Okay. Whatever you say, little bro. Now, I think there's a gap. I think these are the 3 teams that can win the Premier League title this season. I think there's a gap. This is, I was obviously 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Then there's a gap. Now, yeah, as always, people will sit here and laugh. Just ignore them. Yes, I had this top 3 last season as well. And obviously we know what happened. Unfortunately, injuries took away the possibility from that happening. Manchester United, along with West Ham, have had the best transfer window in the league. I've been super impressed. I think they've addressed a lot of the problems that they've had. Defensively, Manchester United are on the same level as the other two, no doubt about it. Goalkeeper wise, sure, people can mock Onana, but I actually think United have the best goalkeeper of the three. I think Ederson, you talk about decline, and I think he's I think there's big problems there. And Raya's, I mean, decent, but I go with Onana 1. And yeah, like I said, defensively, they're not far off. They're on the same level. I mean, Arsenal probably have the best defense overall, but the United are not that far off. I think they need one more midfield signing. I would have loved Ugarte at Manchester United. They need to bring one more. If possible, get McTominay out, bring in one more midfielder. And the part that is going under the radar for Manchester United is the Joshua Zirkzee signing. Because as always, Premtars don't really know who he is. And unlike Calafiori, they didn't get to see him in those 1 or 2 Euro matches. So they still basically have never really seen him play football. Zirkzee, he's not going to score 20 goals. Let's get that straight out. And you're like, well, that's the job of a striker. But Zirkzee is going to allow Manchester United to be able to use him as a decoy, if you will. Because his best quality is bringing the others into play. Now, here's the problem, and here's the one question mark. Bringing the others into play. Who are the others? I look at Rashford this season, and he has never got a better setup than this to thrive. He's got Bruno, he's got Zirkzee. With Kobe Mino feeding from a deeper position. If Rashford cannot succeed this season, then send him to West Ham or Aston Villa. At this point, you probably already should have. It's the perfect system for him. I think he will enter a purple patch again. And it will always be a purple patch because he's not good enough to sustain it. And that will give a boost. But again, we've seen in the Community Shield, he's just not good enough. That's the sad reality. And then, yeah, I've got reservations about Garnacho for sure. Sancho, get him out of the club. Manchester United, as much as they've progressed, it's a damn shame because I think they're one player short. They're an Olise short. If they go Olise, what it could have been. What it could have been. Now, Manchester City right here, right now, on the 15th of August, I think is the weakest they've ever been under Pep. I think last year, well, since this, after the first season, basically, because of the first season Pep came in, was a bit of a disaster. Manchester City need to sign 2 players. If they don't, they're going to be in trouble. Make no mistake about it. It's all well and good relying, but here's the situation they're in. If they miss Rodri or Haaland,
I just want to say thank you
they're
for
in trouble.
educating these freaks on football and your level-headed opinions when talking about Man United. We have top 4 locked, and anybody who thinks otherwise is just judging off 8th cause they can't see past a league freak bad season.
But here's the problem. When people make predictions, they make predictions based too much on last season. They take last season too much into consideration. They don't understand how it works. Anyways, according to MCFC, he is confident City will bring in these 2 players. Here's my question mark surrounding City. I think they're missing that. They're missing the Rodri back still. Kovacic can play in that position, but he's not necessarily a ball winner. We've seen they struggle when Rodri's out. Well, they haven't signed the replacement that we thought they would sign. And number 2, Alvarez is gone. You sure as shit better replace him, huh? Because like I told you with Alvarez, his contribution to this team gone extremely under the radar. The way he started last season was exceptional. The year before in the treble winning season, that game at Craven Cottage, people forget about those types of games. It's very easy. It's very, very easy to forget. They have to replace him. In my opinion, City needed a marquee winger. I'm not sold on Doku. I don't think his decision making is good. Oscar Bob's injury is terrible for them, because this should be his season. Thankfully, it's not as serious as they envisioned. Savio is the glimmer for me. He's shown us that he's different. Savio for me, I haven't seen that from a Manchester City winger since Mahrez. Like, and it's not that Mahrez was exceptional at City, but it's almost like Savio's got that's something extra. So that's the big positive for them. But again, he needs time to settle in. We've seen City buy wingers and they take maybe under Pep's system a bit too long to settle in. Grealish could be back to his treble season. That's super important. He's looked sharp in pre-season, but again, it remains Grealish. I don't think he's ever going to be a killer, right? So that puts a lot of pressure on Haaland. But you know my opinion on Haaland. I think he's the best player in the world at the moment. I'm really curious to see De Bruyne as well. He's on the decline, no doubt about that. But he remains De Bruyne. I think he's got one more season left in him. And then Bernardo Silva, I want to see, because Bernardo's always one good season, one bad season. Well, not bad, but like one lower season. So we'll see. And then Arsenal. I'm going to be honest with you, chat. With Arsenal, I'm just irritated at this point. I'm just annoyed. Because, like, you know how much I rate Arteta, and you know, I was the guy, heck, you know, I've got a whole emote about him when he was still assistant manager and all that. You know, I call you guys Artetas. Bro, at this point, I'm getting a little bit annoyed because it's almost like they don't want to win the league. That's the impression I get. They don't want to win it. Because with all due respect, okay, you go to the last 2 seasons and you're telling me, and you finished second twice, and you're telling me you want to head into the 3rd season yet again with Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz. To me, that's just arrogance. It's not even. It's not arrogance. It's stupidity. I'm not even asking Arsenal to get an Osimhen. I'm not even asking them to get a Gaio Keres, who I think is a bit overrated, but I'm not even asking them to necessarily splash that amount of money. I tell you this with chest. If Arsenal get Ivan Toney, that type of level, Ivan Toney, I'm not even talking about those, Ivan Toney, Arsenal win the league comfortably. And if you want to insist with Havertz, and if you want to be super stubborn with Kai Havertz, and you want to continue, and you believe Kai Havertz is the number 9 because you want to use him as a decoy, fair enough, okay. But then why is your left winger Martinelli then? I've told you since day one he's not good enough. He will not be good enough. Decoy for who? Decoy for fucking Martinelli. Decoy for who, man? If you want to have Havertz, sure, then you need to go and you needed to get Leao, you needed to get Nico Williams, you needed to get Pedro Neto maybe at least, you know? But like, fucking Martinelli, like, and at this point, for me, it's like, they don't want to win it. Calafiori, incredible signing, outrageous signing. And people don't understand this as well. Timber will be like a new signing as well. So defensively, and Calafiori was a signing that was needed because they had issues in that left back position. And he'll be able to be defensively solid and provide good attacking plays as well. Girona hit the post. What a game. Holy shit. And Timber will be like a new signing as well. And they could get Merino, so that will be an improvement as well. Here's my question mark though as well. Rice, Merino, Odegaard. Who's going to play making that? Like, is Rice going to be a number 6 again? You know? Like, Merino's not a playmaker. Odegaard's a number 10. Well, have 8. Rice is not a low number 6. We've been through this. As good as Declan Rice was for Arsenal, let me tell you this, and I'll tell you this with chest. The Arsenal midfield in the 22-23 season was better than in the 23-24 season. That's as crazy as it is. And Rice was exceptional. But that's how football works. It's all about systems. It's all about how they work together. And Rice cannot play on his own. We've seen it for England. He can't. It's impossible. As good as he is, he can't play the ball forward. And it's a big problem. It's a big problem. Merino is a box crasher. Merino's not a play. He's a box crasher. So there is that slight problem as well for me. But Merino will still be a top signing. But then I'm stuck at this situation with Arsenal. We're like, why? Why not? Why not? Ivan Toney, you win the league. Go and get him. 40 million, 30 million. Go and win the league. Why are you doing this? I don't get it. So, as things currently stand, if the window closes today, right here today on 15th of August, Manchester United win the league. They have more of a top to bottom squad compared to the others. City need to buy 2 players. If they don't, they're going to be in trouble. And obviously we know what Arsenal will do. However, I am going to trust my good friend MCFC here. I am going to trust that Manchester City are going to buy these 2 players. If Manchester City buy these 2 players, it will be 5 in a row. 5 in a row. Are we deep in this? 5 in a row. Go ahead.
I know most probably won't rate Nwaneri here, but I think he's gonna get a lot of time this season, and he looked very good preseason.
That's a good point.
Merino is pretty much done.
But he's a bit young.
Arsenal get Gyökeres, it's gonna be interesting. Arsenal will 100% not get Toney though.
Fair enough, but then you need to get someone. Because if you're not going to get someone, you're going to be here or hereabout again. And that's the thing. It's like, I don't understand. It's going to depend on who Manchester City get. This could be the closest in terms of title races that we've had. Not necessarily, I don't care about points-wise, because maybe last season was close points-wise, the year before was relatively close points-wise, but nobody believed that Arsenal, well, no sensible football fan believed Arsenal were going to win the league in either of the past 2 seasons. Those of us that understand the sport, it was always like, they're not going to get over the line. They're just not going to be able to. If City don't strengthen, they're weakening. And Arsenal would have gone stronger than last year. It's just that, like, it's there for them and they don't want to go and get it. I can't sit here and tell you guys that a team with Havertz, Gabriel Jesus, Martinelli, 2 of those 3 players will be starting. I can't tell you guys that team is going to win the league. I can't do it. You need to replace one of them. I've told you this for 3 years and nobody seems to listen. So with that in mind, and keep in mind with this, Arsenal overachieved last season going forward. You can bring up your 90-something goals. You overachieved, make no mistake about it. Fucking half of them were corners anyways. City 1, United 2, Arsenal 3.
If you throw enough shit at the wall, some of it will stick.
If Osimhen joins Chelsea, Chelsea will go top 4, 100%. I think Chelsea could push. I think Chelsea could push for the title as well. But the reason, even with Osimhen, that I don't believe Chelsea will be able to win it it's because defensively Chelsea are significantly weaker than Arsenal, Manchester United and Manchester City. But my God, they'll be fun to watch. They'll overtake Spurs for sure, no doubt about it, if they get Osimhen. So yeah, with Osimhen, these two will invert, and then it will be interesting. By January, United will be coached by Southgate or Potter. Keep it coming. Make sure you keep that same energy come January, idiot. So freaking stupid. That's the thing with you guys, chat. It's always the same story, man. You go too much off of last season.
Are you sure a team with these wingers Troshford, Sancho, Antony, Garnacho, Ahmad will be second in the league?
No.
Don't you think you are overrating
No,
them?
that's a valid point. That's the thing. Like I'm not saying like I said, versus Arsenal, and I'm glad you brought that point up, because here's the thing. Versus you compare United and Arsenal, right? And you're right, United have big problems on the wings as well. Arsenal have the best winger of the lot by a landslide in Bukayo Saka. But here's the difference. Defensively, Arsenal have the slight edge over United. Like I told you earlier, the gap is relatively small. Here's the thing though. Manchester United in midfield can contend with Arsenal's. Arsenal do not have a player like Kobe Mino. They need a Kobe Mino. He'd be perfect for them. They don't. He's the perfect transition. The guy who's going to bring the ball from back to front. And more importantly, what do Manchester United have that Arsenal do not have? The number 9s. Xerxes and Højlund are 2 times, 3 times better than Havertz and Gabriel Jesus. And that's the thing. Like, that's the thing that you will understand. You can criticize Højlund again, but it's the same story all over. He was young. 21. See the season.
My prediction for 24-25. So 4-1-1 to touch 0 women. ADR.
Nobody asks for your opinion.
MCFC to touch no grass.
Respectfully, sir, what the fuck have you been smoking to have United second? How can you, Gunner, how can you say United have not improved across the front line when they brought in Xerxes? Then you flat out lying. That's what I'm saying. You're just flat out lying, bro. The question I want to ask, and we all want to ask, is what is the damn schedule over the whole weekend? Stop it, Rossi. Okay, so wait a minute. We have to answer the questions. No, Nicola, stop it. Too much with these kind ways, man. You don't have to, Nick. I hope you had a good stream, kind sir. We're just making this. We're just spoiling the season. Oh shit! Sorry, Nick stream. Sorry. Oh my days. Sorry. Warning. Spoilers alert. Please. Only watch at your own peril.
Explain how Spurs are 2 places ahead of Liverpool. What makes them better than Liverpool? Please explain. Liverpool gave better players in every position. Make it make sense.
You don't understand, Benjamin. He's not wrong. Now that I've shown you guys the spoiler alert, if you guys want to make some chiching bibblings, this is how La Liga will finish. This is how Serie A, unfortunately, will finish. And we've just finished with the Premier League one.
Unfortunately, won't be watching as much watch-alongs as last season, but I couldn't say no to a season ticket. Most nervous I've been for an upcoming season. Seems everyone has done shrewd business, but as low.
A bit problematic. I've got you guys here. No, so before we get into that, Aris, thank you for the 36 as well. Before we get into the schedule, so who will win the Premier League? Like I've said, it's going to be the closest it's been, I think. If City don't make the 2 signings, they're going to be in trouble. But 5 in a row, unprecedented. 5 in a row. who will finish the highest from these teams? Manchester United, easily. Who will finish highest from these three? West Ham. Give me those 60 points. Money in the bank. Cha-ching, bling. Who will finish top scorer? Never, ever, ever go against the robot. He's going for 3 in a row. And I have to ask a question. If Haaland goes 3 in a row, 3 Premier League titles in a row, 3 golden boots in a row, can we say Haaland above Thierry Henry in Premier League all-time 11? Yes or no? But obviously we're talking about ifs for now. Those are questions that we'll have to wait and see if it happens. Yes, no, fuck off, no, no. Not more iconic, but yes. That's my point in it. Like if you're talking about sheer efficiency, how can you go against that? You know? Who will get the most assists? De Bruyne, Palmer, Salah, Bruno, Saka, or other? The majority have gone with other. Who? I think I'm gonna follow them. Sorry, other. From this list, Saka's the one. Goal, Girona. Girona have equalized against Betis. What a game it's been. Girona have equalized. Away to Betis. Big goal for Girona. I'm gonna go other. If I have a feeling someone like Kudus next year, Anthony Gordon, like that type could go crazy. Palmer to Osimhen. Palmer's not going to be able to sustain the level that he had. Who will score the most goals? Solanke, Tony, Nunes, Havertz, Fulkrug. Oh, this one's easy. This one became pretty easy now that Solanke is going to Spurs. And who will score the most goals in a straight out shootout? Højlund or Jackson? Both players could be in trouble in terms of starting for their respective teams. Especially if Osimhen comes in. Hitler versus Stalin. Show some respect. I think Højlund's the better player, so with that I'm gonna go Højlund. Obviously Jackson outscored him, but... And who will keep the most clean sheets? Raya, Ederson, Alisson, Martinez, Onana, or other? I'm gonna go with Onana. I believe Manchester United's defense has gone under the radar completely. I think it'll be close between him and Raya, but I've given the edge to Onana. Just about. Oh my days. What a game in La Liga. Holy shit. And, oh, this is interesting. Who from these will get sacked first? Eddie, Ten Hag, Maresca, Ange, Slot, or Emery? So, I actually don't think any of them will be sacked. But if I had to pick one, which obviously we may as well pick one. So if nobody gets sacked, it gets voided. If I had to pick one, based on the odds, I'm going to take a gamble on Hank Schrader. Liverpool are not the type to sack managers. But if it all goes really, really bad, yeah, Emery ain't going to get sacked. If it goes really, really bad, I'm going to take a gamble on that. But I don't think either of them will get sacked. I think Maresca will, believe it or not, make it to the end of the season. And who will win the PFA Player of the Year? I am expecting a monstrous season from the best player in the world. He got injured last season. I think he's going to hit 30 goals in the league. And then those, obviously, we've already answered. We've answered all the questions in the polls. Now, what is left to spoil? There's two... You guys are so disrespectful. Should there not be a no sacked option? No, it's just one of them. It would get voided if none of them get sacked. Now, the only thing left to spoil. Bundesliga, Bayern Munich will win it, and PSG will win the Liga. There was one question that we missed, actually. That's a good question. We've answered these. Who will get more points per game? Bayern München or PSG? I've watched Bayern Munich in preseason. They have been cooking under Vincent Kompany. But it's Kompany's first season, and they've had, in my opinion, the best transfer window out of any team. But I'm going to go with PSG. I went PSG last season. I'm going to stick with that. I think the Bundesliga's level has gone up this year. So overall, as has Liga, to be fair. But I think Vincent Kompany first season, Luis Enrique's second season. PSG need a striker, but we'll see. And then we've got this question left, which I'm not going to answer just yet. Who will be the Ballon d'Or favorite in 2025? Before we answer that question, we need to answer the final two. Who will win Europa League? Who will win Champions League? I'll get to the Europa League really quickly. The Europa League, for those who don't know, these are the teams competing in the Europa League this season. Here's a key point. There is no team that is going to drop from the Champions League anymore into Europa League. So that's obviously super important. These are the teams, period. There's still some actually in the qualifying, I think, left to decide exactly to make up the whole list. But these are the teams. I believe the Europa League champions of 2025 will come yet again, as they have done time and time again, from Spain. I think it's going to be the hosts. I think it's going to be Athletic Bilbao. I think Ernesto Valverde is a fantastic manager. Always was underrated. I think he's going to be the one that will bring it home for Bilbao. With United, I think they'll be a bit distracted. Roma will make an attempt for it, I think, but they'll fall short. Now, last but not least, who will win the Turkish Super League? Fenerbahce, of course. Jose, to win his first league title since 2015 with Chelsea. Now, the Champions League. Last but most certainly not least, the conference. I mean, if Chelsea don't win the conference, it's a disgrace, right? They should be able to win that with their third team. Do we have a... Yeah, this will do. I don't need a full detailed fails to qualify. Loses at A. Oh yeah, because the format is completely different, isn't it? Completely different. Yeah, to join !! Discord. That's how you join. Thank you, Daniel. Let me rephrase this. So let's put champions. Let's put could be champions. And then the tier below, which we can call whatever. We'll keep it like this. Maybe I may need... We'll see. I may need one more tier, actually. Just short. Let's put it like this. And obviously, I'll quickly get with all due respect to the teams that I don't think are gonna make it from these ends. I mean, obviously, there's some teams here that are, with all due respect to them, I don't think there's gonna be much surprises here. Obviously, ignore the numbers here. I don't exactly know. Oh, whatever. Let's say 8 from there. We'll see. Maybe PSV can go another level, actually. Stuttgart will also fail. Celtic are here. My God, some terrible teams to be fair here. I think the level of the Champions League is a bit lower than usual. I think the Portuguese teams will be a tier above. Think of this more like a tier list of these teams, so to speak. Let's think of it a little bit more like that. Let's think of it more like this, I suppose. The UEFA Cup champions will be somewhere there, I believe. Out of Leipzig and Dortmund, I think Dortmund have a little bit extra, but it's more like a tier list rather than a spoiler for who. Obviously, there's always going to be surprises, but here's how I would rank these teams out of the top ones. Let's put it that way. I think you've got. Let's put it this way. You've got this Juventus, Dortmund. I think. I would probably, like I said, ignore these numbers. Let's put them at short. From the favorites to basically compete. I would put Dortmund on and Juventus in this tier. They're not going to be there. They're definitely going to fall short. In the tier above. So let's see who could be champions. I think Arsenal could be champions. I think Atletico Madrid could be champions. I would put Liverpool short. So somewhere they could be there, but we've added an extra. I think Milan will be short. I think PSG will be short. I think Leverkusen will be short. Obviously Real Madrid entered that list. I think Barcelona will be just short. I think Bayern Munich, Inter, and Manchester City. I think those are the could be champions. With Arsenal, as much as I criticize them in league format, I think in a Champions League they're going to be tough to eliminate. If I'm being picky, the thing with this is there's something called the Champions League heritage, and it came into effect last season. Again, imagine Arsenal like we've seen last season. They come up against Bayern Munich. I shouldn't be telling you guys this is kind of confidential, but this is what Wenger told me they basically were saying in the dressing room. The team talk by Thomas Tuchel was basically he went through the Arsenal team. He went through several players in particular. And the rumor has it that most of the Germans they loved. When they found out they were playing against Kai Havertz as the starting number 9, the rumor has it that Joshua Kimmich burst out laughing. And that's the kind of stuff that like it matters because these are the moments that decided. Bayern Munich last season should not have beaten Arsenal. Why did they beat them? Champions League heritage. You need to make that next step. You need to make the opposition fear you. So with that, I would say probably Arsenal are the shortest here. I think defensively they're going to be extremely tough to score against in a Champions League format. But if we're going to be honest, you probably can put them just short there. Just a little bit less than these other teams, I would personally say. Now, in a Champions League format, I think Inter are going to prioritize the Champions League this year. I think we're going to fall a bit short in the league, but in the Champions League, we're going to focus on it. The pain of March the 10th against Atletico, that one still stings. Make no mistake about it. And we're going to be able to peak around that time. Obviously, everybody knows by now Inter should have at least been in the Champions League final last season. It didn't happen. Those things happen. It is what it is. But I think it definitely could be champions. Bayern Munich have an incredible team. I've been super impressed by Vincent Kompany in pre-season. He's got them cooking. But I have the question mark of Vincent Kompany. Can he win a Champions League? Going from Burnley, going from being relegated to Burnley to winning a Champions League with Bayern München. I'm not so sure. I'll put them right below Inter. In my opinion, these are the top 3 teams most likely to win it. And again, I know I picked Atletico to win it last year. But let's be honest. Oh my days. Girona. Oh my days, they almost scored. But here's the thing. Brobbey missed 2 penalties in the same shootout. How's that even possible, Amori? What the fuck? Missed. Oh my fucking days. It went all the way around. It went all the way around and he missed 2 penalties. Where's freaking Epi, that moron? Kept banging on about how good Brobby is. He's shit, man. Lord have mercy. What a penalty shootout. And Panathinaikos have gone through, right? How the mighty have fallen. Ajax. Oh my days, bro. They lost at home to Panathinaikos. Is it over? It looks like it is, nah? It's over. Wait, what? You won? How did you win? What? You missed 1, 2, 3, 4 penalties and you somehow won. According to this, it's still ongoing. How is that even possible? What the fuck? Ah, they missed the first one here as well. I didn't see that. Disgraceful scenes. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. But yeah, going back to this. This is the thing. People love. But if you have question marks about Atletico Madrid winning the Champions League, apart from the fact that they've improved massively this season, look at last season. They eliminated Inter, obviously, who were top 3 teams in Europe last season. Look at the game against Dortmund. You're telling me that if Atletico had Julian Alvarez and Sordot last season, that they're not going during that game. They destroyed Dortmund, bro. Like, they freaking missed so many chances. Not to mention they strengthen now the rest of the team. Tap and bomb. Chat, this better be an actual one though. Fuck, man. These guys are freaking savvy, bro. So that leaves us with 4 teams. Atletico, Real, Manchester City, and Inter. By the way, sorry, if we have to completely order this, Barcelona would be, I would say, straight after Barcelona. I'll probably order it something like this, probably. If I were to order it. Now, from these 4 teams, here's how you have to look at it. Look at the head-to-heads. Right? Look at the head-to-heads. Atletico own Real Madrid. Look at the matchups between Atletico and Real Madrid last season. Over 2 legs, Atletico will be a nightmare for Real Madrid. A complete and utter nightmare. In the key matchup last season, Atletico lived rent-free in Real Madrid's hands. Even with Mbappe coming in, I personally don't think that's going to change. Because look at who Atletico have brought in. Atletico against Manchester City, I've told you this last season. Stylistically, Atletico are one of the very few teams that can beat City over 2 legs. Because of the way that, if you look at the only encounter between Atletico and City, the one that went narrowly 1-0, City went through. It's the same carbon copy thing. I think, like I said, for me, and this is so far 15th of August, it depends on who Manchester City sign. As things stand, I think City are weaker than they've been in the previous years. I would fancy Atletico win 2 legs over City. And then obviously, Atletico beat us last season. So I'm going with the same spoiler that I had last season. I think this is Atletico's year. I think Simeone is about to, for the very first time, win a Champions League, and Atletico Madrid will become champions of Europe for the very first time. Atletico Madrid to win the Champions League, and I think Athletic Bilbao to win the Europa League. I've gone double Spanish teams in that regard. Oh my days. Speaking about Spanish teams, this has been a freaking crazy game here. Like I've told you guys, I know I've gone too similar, which is Atletico to win the Champions League, Manchester United to finish 2nd. They backfired last season. However, this season, as you've already seen, I've went up a level. when it comes to spoiling the sport. You guys gotta understand, I am obsessed with this sport. Like, it's completely different to how it's been in the past. I wake up, and like I always tell you guys, I get to work on a football game. That's the first thing I do. Okay? The next thing I get to analyze football. I get to speak about football. I get to manage football. I get to virtually play football. My entire life revolves around the sport. I am now reaching a level whereby I'll be very disappointed and upset if I don't spoil the football. That's the level I am at. And obviously I'm holding myself to a high standard, and not to sound arrogant, but like I said, to be completely honest with you guys, I haven't got much going on in my life at the moment. It's a big surprise for you guys in the sense I haven't got a girlfriend. At the moment, I'm very, very busy because I am obsessed with the sport. I am trying to save you guys primarily on the football virtual gaming side. I don't go out as much as anymore as I once did, nowhere near. Like, I wake up from the minute that I open my eyes until the minute that I shut them off. It's football at the moment. That's currently where I am at. So, mind my arrogance, but there's a lot that's been put into this. A lot. a lot. I'm at a level which I've never been able to never even thought I would reach. So that's all I ask. A little bit of respect. I know you guys have your opinions. I get it. But that's why I told you guys we're not comparable. Thank you. Thank you, Erkon. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Oniko here again. Oniko, nobody cares, bro. What are you tagging me in this thing? Mado.
So you're a devil, are you?
Oniko.
Well, let's remind you of the terms.
Intelligence.
Consistency.
What a way to end the stream.
Skill.
Speed. Speed
United will kick us off tomorrow.
Red.
Red.
It's gotta be red.
Rossi, why have you never sent me
game
this?
is more than just numbers. It's about emotion, creativity, and heart.
And just look what it means to the Manchester United players!
In a sold out, straight for the head!
For me, it's huge responsibility to maintain the history and the legacy.
It's not for everyone.
At least you can have a
We
go
expect
on Ossie's
a
mother
lot.
every night.
Stage
Exactly.
leads the Champions League.
Challenging for titles and trophies, playing exciting attacking football,
And we never give
Amor,
up.
you know.
Oh, he saved it! Amor saved it!
And I promise you that those players
Mado.
will give everything,
Mado.
then everything.
Where we are today, it's because movement after movement, people have been inspired by the past,
Ready! Towards Keane!
by the previous artists, and then they improve. They don't copy.
Oh, for Ronaldo to think about it. Oh, absolutely sensational!
Just take inspiration here and here and here and here and create their own world.
Cross Garnacho! That is outstanding! It's a terrific finish from Alejandro Garnacho!
You have to fight for your people. You have to fight for everybody. Look at the badge. Look at the stadium.
Garnacho is ruining
Fans,
this
passion.
He'll twist away from Ake, and Rashford scores! Everything's possible at the moment for Marcus Rashford. And that for the semi-final!
It's about that special player who makes you feel something.
Fernandes, over the ball, and Mainu scores! And Mainu, Mainu, marvellous! Now that's quite something. This feels like Manchester United again.
Mado.
So there it is.
Che, even if you're not a Manchester United fan, surely that's giving you some kind of goosebumps, nah? Mado.
All of this to hold 3 goals to Fulham. 10 Hamas ball is back.
Yeah, you guys are so sad, honestly. Every single time it's the same story. Now schedule, indeed. Pin them all. Now, one last super. Bro, bro, you say United fan. Bro, why are you saying I'm a United fan? 2 years ago, you told me, 2 years ago, I got called the biggest United hater. Every single time, you guys can't accept the fact that I'm just a humble football expert that just calls it like it is. I don't understand why is that so tough for you guys to understand. I don't get it, bro. It's always the same story. Every single time, United fan, haha, yeah, 2 years ago, I got called the biggest United hater. Always the same story. It's like, I just need a humble football expert, that's it. I just call it like it is. Obviously, I'm going to upset a few people, sure. Barca fans ain't happy with me. I put them third. Of course. Heck, Inter fans shouldn't be happy with me. I put them second. It is what it is. What can I do? Yeah, Liverpool fans are fuming. What can I do? You're going to finish sixth. What do you want me to do? Like, I can't put you higher. Like, oh, it's crazy, man. Anyways, the schedule. The schedule for this weekend. Obviously, will be live tomorrow. Manchester United versus Fulham with Le Havre versus PSG second screen. Saturday, we'll be there early. Ipswich versus Liverpool. Followed by Arsenal versus Wolves. Followed by Genoa versus Inter, West Ham versus Aston Villa on the second screen. Mado, followed by Milan versus Torino. Followed by Valencia versus Barcelona. Super Saturday. Sunday, we'll have Chelsea versus Manchester City. Followed by Mallorca versus Real Madrid. Viva el football. And on Monday, we'll have Juventus Como, Leicester Spurs, Villarreal Atletico de Madrid. Viva el football. And super one last thing. For those who want to win their FPL mini leagues, I firmly believe I've broken the game. This is what I'm going, or what I have at the moment. I don't think you're gonna find a better team than this. I'll be honest with you guys. I need to set the captaincy and stuff. Maybe I low-key think Isaac could be captain, but was he? Yeah, it's got everything, this team. Absolutely everything. Yes, Amori. It will be there. It will be there, kinds. I don't know yet. I'm debating the 4.5. This could change. This could change. I've switched from a lot of players. I mean, I like a Newcastle defender against Southampton in it, but we'll see. Ornstein before we go to bed. Ornstein. What? Yeah, Barco could start as well. Anyways, I got work in the morning, so I gotta get going. Atletico Madrid Champions League, City Premier League, Milan Serie A, Real Madrid La Liga, and Athletic Bilbao Europa League, Chelsea Conference. Thank you for watching. It's been a complete and utter pleasure. Sorry for spoiling the football for you guys. Big season coming up.